It's Virginia Tech and South Carolina in a Power 5 stint early in the non-conference schedule. Hello, everybody, from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's Kyle Marshak alongside Nels Williams. Nels, should be a fun one today. An early season non-conference matchup between two Power 5 squads that are 1-0. And man, 2023 has a fun one early on. You have South Carolina, you have Virginia Tech, two offenses that are rebranding themselves early this season, Nels, and two teams that are kind of rebranding their entire organization after tough years last year.
Absolutely, and you want to talk about rebrand. South Carolina, Lamont Paris, in his second year as head coach in South Carolina, he really targeted the transfer portal this year. I mean, the Gamecocks have 4 transfers in Clark, Cooper, Mack, and Stute. They played a combined 430 games on the Division I level. South Carolina this offseason had a goal in mind. They wanted to bring in experience, and they did just that. Now, it's a rebuilding year for South Carolina. Obviously, they're picked 14th in the preseason SEC polls. But you want to talk about Virginia Tech finding their identity, Kyle. They also brought in many transfers, and this is arguably the deepest Tech has ever been off the bench.
Absolutely. You have Lynn Kidd meeting at center court on the Hornets logo. We're here in the Spectrum Center for the Basketball Hall of Fame Invitational. The Hornets court giving way to a big Power 5 matchup. Again, two teams that finished towards the bottom of their respective conferences. But hey, Mike Young, as compared to Lamont Paris in juxtaposition in his 6th season here with Virginia Tech, got a lot in the line in terms of trying to take a step back forward after a tough one last year where the injury bug was really what plagued this Hokie squad. All right, let's get into the lineups real quick as we have the big boy center, Stephen Clark, meeting at center court alongside Virginia Tech's Lynn Kidd. It's going to be B.J. Mack, Stephen Clark, Meechie Johnson, Miles Stute, Talon Cooper on the floor for the Gamecocks. Hunter Couture, M.J. Collins, Sean Padula, Lynn Kidd, and Robbie Barron on the floor for Virginia Tech. And you know what? I think it's going to be that backcourt play today, Nels, that should really be the spotlight of whether or not these two teams have success in the hardwood.
Yeah, absolutely. And it starts with Sean Padula for Virginia Tech. First career double-double on Monday against Coppin State. He has been an assist dealer, 10-plus points in 31 games last season. Padula will absolutely be leading Virginia Tech's backcourt. And then on South Carolina's side, you got Talon Cooper. He enters for tonight's game 4th on the NCAA active leaders for career assists list with 606. So expect some, pretty good dishes on either side of the ball here, Kyle, as you're just about ready to go.
Tony Green at center court. The ref lobs up the ball. Lynn Kidd tips it in the air, and Sean Padula on the Hokies will work from left to right on your radio dial. Sean Padula, 15 points in the season opener against Coppin State. Off the ball screen, he rolls to the right side of the lane, pulls up for a 15-footer, and connects. Nothing but nylon to get the Hokies going. Inbound quickly and past the timeline with 25 in the shot clock. It's Talon Cooper and company for the Gamecocks. Off-ball screen, rolls to the right side, bumps into Lynn Kidd. Now to the top of the key, here's Stephen Clark. Back out, straight away at the Spectrum Center logo. It's tipped up in the air as he tries to get it to the inside. Meechie Johnson lobs up a floater and connects as well. Back and forth buckets early on, just 40 seconds in. Padula past the timeline, hands off to Lynn Kidd. South Carolina rolling from right to left. Meechie Johnson hands off to Miles Stute. He swings it across the perimeter. Here's Talon Cooper at the left elbow beyond the 3. Off-ball screen, he rolls to the right side. Zips it across court. Miles Stute wants a corner 3. Nothing but nylon. Connects from downtown. A 3-pointer ties it at 8 apiece between Virginia Tech and South Carolina. The Hokies in their maroon and orange working from left to right. Padula past the timeline, dishes it off the Kidd. Swinging around is Barron to M.J. Collins at the right elbow beyond 3. Now Hunter Couture gloves it at the top of the key. Rolls to the left side of the lane, spins around, kicks back out. M.J. Collins straightaway 3. Off the back iron and off the mark. Tipped out of play and kept in bounds at the baseline by B.J. Mack. Here's Talon Cooper for South Carolina. 8 apiece, just 3 minutes into this contest. Talon Cooper on a ball screen, rolls to the right, kicks it to the inside, spinning around at the charity stripe is B.J. Mack. Finds back out to the top of the key. From 40 feet away is Talon Cooper, working with the left hand, kicks it to the left side. Here's Meechie Johnson. Shimmies and shakes to the lane, right-handed lay, pops up in the air. It's poked away by Lynn Kidd. He rises up for the rebound. Now Sean Padula will have it rolling up the floor. Down the right sideline, uses the big body screen of Lynn Kidd. Rolls to the right elbow, trying to get to the baseline. Pump fake, kick back out. Lynn Kidd, hands off to Couture. He wants a 30-footer and connects from way downtown. 11-8 Hokies. Just over 3 minutes into the contest, and the Hokies have 11 points on the board.
Couture just 2 3-pointers away from tying Wally Lancaster for 3rd all-time with 3-pointers, Kyle.
Swinging across the perimeter. with 15 on the shot clock. Here's Meechie Johnson, top of the key. Swings to the left side. Here's Clark. Now Stute hands off. Rolls to the right side of the perimeter. Meets the body of Robbie Barron. Kicks it to the left side. It's stolen away by Padula. He has it in transition. Shimmies and shakes to the left side. The lay off the glass, and he kisses it into the nylon. Hokies in transition. They lead it by 5. It's 13-8 with 16:07 and running in the first half of play. South Carolina with their commandeer of offense, Talon Cooper, handing it off to the right side. Miles Stute fakes the ball to the right, now shimmies to the left. He creases it to the right side in the elbow of Stute. Now into the low block from 15 feet away. Working on Lynn Kidd is B.J. Mack. Backing him down in the post. Uses his left hand, shoulders up, right-handed lay off the glass, and it falls into the hands of Lynn Kidd. Passes it up the floor to Sean Padula, 15:40 on the clock, and he'll dice it to the right. Calls for a screen from Lynn Kidd. Rolls to the left side at the sideline, pulls up for a wing three, and it's nothing but air as Meechie Johnson picks it up. Fresh shot clock, 15 and a half to go, and here come the air ball chants. Past the timeline is South Carolina. They're down 13-8. 15:20 on the clock. One-handed grab to the pass at the low block is Miles Stute. Left-handed float shot off the mark. Offensive board. Stute picks up his own shot and puts it back up and in. 13-10. Gamecocks back within a possession. And now slowing down the pace is the commissioner of the Hokies offense with 15 points in that first game. Sean Padula calls for a screen, rolls to the left, hands off to Robbie Barron. He wants a deep three, and it doinks off the front iron and into the hands of Meechie Johnson. Hands it off to Talon Cooper, and Johnson will take it again as he crosses the Hornets logo. To the right side, about 40 feet out, he uses his left-handed gesture to the offense. Hands it off to Cooper beyond 3. Now Stute has it straight away. Swings across the perimeter. Here's Meechie Johnson. Doubled by Lynn Kidd and Hunter Couture. Stops at the straightaway point. Hands off to Talon Cooper. Now they swing it to the far corner. It's Stephen Clark. Back out to the top of the key. Talon Cooper working to the lane. Backs up. Left-handed lay from 10 feet out. Off the back iron, off the mark. Picking it up the board is Hunter Couture. 14 and a half to go. Hokies still lead 13-10. Sean Padula rolling to the left side, off the screen, stops it about 20 feet away and hands it off to MJ Collins at the top of the key. Beyond the perimeter, cuts to the left side, crossover dribble, nearly tipped away. It falls into the hands of Sean Padula. He does a crossover dribble, ball fake, rolls to the inside, kickbacks out, and Hunter Couture, step back three, off the mark from the right elbow, tipped up in the air by Robbie Barron. A little putback, rebound, and bucket for the forward. Hits for his first bucket of the afternoon.
I like that from Robbie Barron right there, really playing his position well, and he understands immediately where to get set up, knowing right off the shot that Couture knew that ball was not going to go in.
Off-ball screen, the pick and roll handed off to B.J. Mack, quickly up the floor, bodies his way to the paint, picks up his own board off the front iron, kicks it back out, Stephen Clark. Talon Cooper has it at the top of the key, 3, nothing but nylon. Talon Cooper with his third field goal already, and he makes it a one-possession game. It's 15-13. Sean Padula will slow things down as he crosses the logo. Rolls to the right side and will dish it off to his center, Lynn Kidd, at the top of the key. He dribble drives to the right, hands off to Padula. He wants a corner three off the front iron, doiks up into the air, and on the miss is Stephen Clark, who picks up the board. Hands it off to Meechie Johnson, who works at the right sideline. Far court, uses his left-handed dribble as he cuts to the right side now. Cutting to the lane, Stephen Clark at the wing has it. Chest pass to the top of the key. Now it's Miles Stute who has it. Rolls to the left side, behind the back dribble, collects his hands, gets a step back three. Nothing but net. Oh my, to take the lead. South Carolina up 16-15 off of Miles Stute's first bucket of the afternoon.
Beautiful ball movement by South Carolina. They get Virginia Tech to squeeze on the interior, kick it out, whip it around the perimeter. And Stute was going to nail that one any day of the week.
15 on the shot clock, Hunter Couture with a little jab step, now cuts to the inside at the lane, straight away, 10 feet out, working on Meechie Johnson. Uses his left foot as a pivot foot, bodies to the paint. The ball pops up in the air and rolls out of bounds to the Hornets logo at the baseline. Out of bounds, off of the Hokies. And out of this timeout, South Carolina will have possession with their first lead of the afternoon. Don't leave just yet. We're going to step away for 60 seconds and come back at you on the 3304 airwaves.
3, 2,
16-15 your score back on 3304 Sports. Kyle Marshak alongside Nels Williams, and the South Carolina Gamecocks lead Virginia Tech in a nice Power 5 stint early in the regular season. Nels, whole lot of offense early on with just 12 and a half minutes to go in the first half. We've got a combined 31 points, a whole lot of field goals by South Carolina's Miles Stute so far.
Yeah, Stute currently leading all scorers with 10 points. He's 4 for 5 from the floor, including 2 made three-pointers. And if we want to talk about three-pointers, Virginia Tech, after a Hunter Couture three, has been ice cold. They're 1 for 6 right now, while South Carolina is perfect from long range, 4 for 4 Overall, Virginia Tech shooting 50% from the floor. South Carolina 6 from 11. So if you're hoping for a slow defensive match tonight here in Charlotte, you're out of luck.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Sell your ticket.
Yeah, sell your ticket.
All right. Well, Hunter Couture did push the ball out of play, but looked like there was some contact from the defender, Meechie Johnson. So Virginia Tech will maintain possession. At the baseline is Sean Padula on the E of the Hornets logo, behind the right side of the court on your radio dial. Padula with a whole lot of orange jerseys in front of him. Virginia Tech possession with 6 seconds on the shot clock. He's got a whole O-line in front of him. Lobs up to the top of the key. Here's Elijah Poteet, his first minutes of the day. Hands off to Hunter Couture, rolls to the right side, pulls up from 20 feet. Right-handed jumper off the mark. It rattles in and out, and it's picked up by Talon Cooper. Hands it off to the right side, and it's going to be Jacoby Wright, who's getting his first minutes of the day for South Carolina. Hands it off to Miles Stute straight away. Now Jacoby Wright again, swinging around the perimeter. 15 on the shot clock for South Carolina. Talon Cooper dishes it to the top of the key. Wright cuts to the right side. Now a far side three. Dialing it up and off the mark was Zachary Davis. The ball poked up in the air and pushed back into play, but an off-ball foul, and Virginia Tech cannot get possession. South Carolina will take a trip to the line, and it looks like we may have another media timeout. So, not too much action to talk about there. South Carolina maintains an advantage, 16-15, under 12 minutes to go in North Carolina.
3, 2.
After a quick pause of action, we welcome you back into the Spectrum Center here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the Hall of Fame Basketball Invitational, and it's the South Carolina Gamecocks leading the Virginia Tech Hokies 16-15. Just 8 minutes into the contest. Both teams 1-0, and both Power 5 squads looking to maintain an undefeated record very early into this 2023 campaign. On 3304 Sports, Kyle Marshak alongside Nels Williams. Nels, a little bit of action just a few minutes ago, but now we get to go breathe, right? And I think the rhythm that we're trying to settle into has been awfully quick today.
Absolutely. I mean, it looks like both Virginia Tech and South Carolina both had the same game plan pregame. They wanted to really dial up the speed and bring the tempo here, and that has been accomplished by Miles Stute as well as Sean Padula. Sean Padula came out high flying. He's got 4 points. That's tied for the most on the Hokies with Robbie Barron and Lynn Kidd. But you can't not talk about Miles Stute. Stute's got 10 points on the floor still. He actually made the possession-saving play. Tyler Nickel lost a handle on it in the far corner. Stute was there to keep it back in bounds, and then you got an off-ball foul. I believe that was called on Nickel. We'll have to confirm on that. But, no, it was a foul by Hunter Couture that was drawn by Miles Stute. That's his first of the evening here in Charlotte. So Miles Stute certainly took his pre-workout before coming into the Spectrum Center, and he's flying around the court with the energy of a bee right now.
Subs all over the place for Virginia Tech. Hunter Couture, Padula, and Barron stay on. Nickel and Poteet will join them. Jacoby Wright, Zachary Davis, Morris Agusic, and Benjamin Bosmans-Verdonk all hop on the floor alongside Miles Stute, who leads all scorers with 10. So pretty much an entire lineup change for Lamont Paris and company for the Gamecocks. And they'll inbound the ball on the left side of the court on your radio dial here in the Spectrum Center. Grabbing the ball behind the basket is Morris Agusic, his first minutes of the afternoon. True freshman hands it off to the top of the key. That's going to be Bosmans-Verdonk. Dishes it to the left side. Here's the tall Zachary Davis. Bounces to the right. Working on it right now with the right-handed dribble is Morris Agusic. Dishes it off to the left side. Right-hand lay. Rolls in off the glass. Connecting on that one was Jacoby Wright, his first bucket of the afternoon. Now it's Sean Padula working from left to right on the radio dial. Calls for a screen to the left side, rolls out, kicks back out. Makai Long bounces to the top of the key. Elijah Poteet runs into some contact. Hands off to Hunter Couture. Dish to the far wing. MJ Collins shimmies and shakes. Stops, pulls up, 10-footer. Blocked away. Zachary Davis with the stop. The ball falls out of play, and it's an offensive foul. No, the ball is just out of play, and South Carolina will retake possession. 18-15, the advantage for the Gamecocks.
And MJ Collins is quickly escorted off the court. Tyler Nickel coming back on and replacing Collins. I liked what he was trying to do there and try to penetrate that defense in deep, but unfortunately for Collins, he just lost a handle on it. The Cox's defense really trapped Collins and just lost a handle on it there, Kyle.
Morris Agusic with 20 on the shot clock. Hands off to the top of the key. He'll give it to Benjamin Bosmans-Verdonk, and now back out to Agusic. To the top of the key, it's Zachary Davis. Working with his left hand, bounces it into the low block. Miles Stute's been a bucket today. Kicks back out, top of the key. Ball fake from Jacoby Wright. Rolls to the baseline, spins around, under the hoop. Right hand lay, reverse, rolls off the glass and in. Make it a 20-15 advantage for South Carolina.
And Hunter Couture wanted a foul right there called on offensive foul as he gave a little bit of a shrug to the referee. Couldn't believe it.
Tyler Nickel, top of the key. Another transfer addition for Virginia Tech. Hands it off to Makai Long. He snags it one-handed, swings it across the floor. It's poked out of play. Intended target was Hunter Couture, but Zachary Davis breaks up the rhythm as it falls out of bounds at around midcourt. 10:36 in the clock, 20-15. Virginia Tech at the disadvantage. BJ Mack back on the floor for South Carolina. 2 fouls for South Carolina. Just 1 for Virginia Tech, who inbounds at midway. 10 seconds in the shot clock. Sean Padula works the left side of the paint, lobs it across court to Hunter Couture, swings it back out to Malijal Poteet, back to Couture, dials up a 3. It's off the mark. The ball's poked back up out of play, and Padula will pick it up beyond half court. The Hokies with a fresh shot clock. Cuts to the left side, at the lane. It's swatted away. Morris Agusic denies the shot, picks up the board, rolls to the left side. He'll, at the top of the key, swing it cross court, and he travels as he tries to swing it across the hardwood to Zachary Davis, and it's a turnover. Virginia Tech will reset with possession just beyond the midway point of the floor.
Virginia Tech's been on a cold streak recently. They are now 6 for 16 from the floor, 1 for 7 now. They were 1 for 6 earlier in the game. Now 1 for 7. They really haven't had much success, which is why I believe Mike Young is trying to emphasize push in, push within the perimeter, right? Go for those mid-range shots, and that's why you got guys like Makai Long, Lynn Kidd, and Tyler Nickel with the size out there for Virginia Tech. But look at this. Brandon Rechsteiner is in for Sean Padula, Kyle.
Hands off to Nickel, top of the key, Long, swings back out to Rechsteiner, the true freshman guard. Now it's Couture, top of the key, slithers to the paint, kicks back out, Tyler Nickel, ball fake, rolls to the inside, right-handed 10-footed floater, rolls off the rim, pokes back up in the air, and a defensive rebound. It's going to be Davis who picks it up. He rolls up to the right sideline. Now it's Jacoby Wright, slithering with the leather, bounces to the top of the key. Wanting threes, BJ Mack off the front rim and misses the target. Poke back up in the air. Jousting for it is Hunter Couture. He gets it. Kicks it to the far wing. Here's Rechsteiner, commandeering the offense. Swings to the far elbow, and a Tyler Nickel 3 is off the back iron and misses the target. Over the back foul from Makai Long, and South Carolina will work from right to left. 9:26 in the clock, a 20-15 advantage, and Mike Young needs to talk things over as Virginia Tech continues to find a way to miss some buckets on the inside, and he got an injury timeout at the midway point of the floor as well. So out of respect for him, we'll step away for a moment. It continues to be a back-and-forth contest just midway through the first half. It's South Carolina and Virginia Tech on 3304 Sports.
3, 2.
20-15 your score. Midway through the first half, it's South Carolina and Virginia Tech. 9:26 in the clock, and South Carolina will start with possession out of the timeout on 3304 Sports. I'm Kyle Marshak. To my right is Nels Williams. A fun contest so far. Inbound from right to left. Here come the white jerseys of South Carolina. Morris Agusic working on his minutes off the bench. Rolls to the top of the key. Hands it off to the left side. Jacoby Wright. Bounce pass to the far side. Agusic again. Ball fake and a roll out with his left hand. Picks up the ball at the M of the Spectrum logo. From 40 feet out, it's Jacoby Wright, grabs the ball, works to the left side, into the lane. It's stolen away by Makai Long for Virginia Tech. Rolls it on the floor to Couture, hands off to Rechsteiner, the true freshman guard. He slithers up the floor and slows down the pace. 20 on the shot clock. Virginia Tech in a 3-minute bucket drought. Kicks to the left side. Here's Makai Long, standing high above his defense. He'll roll to the left side, into the wing, trapped. Kicks out to the top of the key. Here's Lynn Kidd back on the floor. He plants his foot, swings it to Brandon Rechsteiner. 5 on the shot clock. He wants a 35-footer, and it's nothing but air. The second one to miss all of the rim for Virginia Tech. And that one will fall out of play with 8.5 to go. Virginia Tech continues to miss from the floor.
They are now 0 for their last 8. The last time the Hokies scored was Robbie Barron's put in from the Hunter Couture missed three-pointer when they were up 15-20. The Hokies are now down 20-15, and again, 0 for their last 8. They've missed 4 inside of the arc and 4 outside of the arc, thanks to that Brandon Rechsteiner missed deep ball.
Talon Cooper back on the floor. He has 8 minutes to his credit, but 4 points for South Carolina. He'll swing it to the top of the key, 20 on the shot clock. Jacoby Wright working in the low block, hands it off to Talon Cooper. He's working in the post on Sean Padula. Rises for a right-handed lay, and Abdul-Jabbar style, he kisses the nylon. 22-15. South Carolina extends their advantage with 8 minutes to go in the first half. Here's Sean Padula, and an off-ball foul. Whistle blows.
It's going to be on Jacoby Wright. One thing to note right now, Kyle, as well, is that Virginia Tech is being out-rebounded 13-10, and 10 of those rebounds from South Carolina are coming on the defensive side of the ball for them. Virginia Tech simply is getting out-muscled down low by the likes of Benjamin Bozeman's Verdonk and BJ Mack, but now BJ Mack out of the game We'll have to see how that affects South Carolina's board's ability.
Straight away, Lynn Kidd off the inbound, hands off to Hunter Couture, 20 feet away, swings it to the far corner. Padula wants three, off the front iron, off the mark. Makai Long picks up the offensive rebound, working with his right hand in the post, spins around, and a jumper is off target as well.
0 for their last 10 now.
Now it's Talon Cooper pushing the ball in transition, plants his foot at the top of the key, swings it to the far corner. Studi wants three, rattles in and out, popping up in the air and skying for the board is Sean Padula. He pushes the pace down the right sideline, 25 in the shot clock, picks up his ball 15 feet away from the paint at the right block, spins around with a left-handed pivot foot, bounces to the low block. Rising up in the air, left-handed leg, kisses off the back of the rim and in for Lynn Kidd, his third bucket of the afternoon. 7:25 and running in the first. 22-17 advantage. There's the Hokies' first bucket in 5 minutes. Meechie Johnson slowing things down, dribbles with his left hand, hands off to the top of the key. With the ball right now is Benjamin Bosmans-Verdonk. Hands off to Talon Cooper. Tries to dish it to the inside. The ball's swatted up. He picks it back down. Slams to the inside. The bounce back and the left-handed lay off the back of the rim and in. It's Benjamin Bosmans-Verdonk, his first bucket of the afternoon.
That was just poor defense there by Lynn Kidd. He lost his man thinking that Padula was going to pick up that ball in transition. The Gamecocks took advantage by getting it down low to Bosmans-Verdonk.
Sean Padula, 15 on the shot clock. Commands his offense with his left hand, dribbling with his right. Standing about 40 feet away straight away. Shimmies and shakes to the left, misses his dribble, picks it up and tosses to Hunter Couture at the top of the key. He steps back, tosses to Padula. He wants three, and it's off the front of the rim and grazes down to the hardwood. 24-17. South Carolina maintains possession. Here's Meechie Johnson at the top of the key. Swing pass to the corner. Ball fake from Jacoby Wright, and he stepped out of play after catching the pass wide receiver style. So Virginia Tech will have possession out of the media timeout. They get one bucket for the first time in their past 7 minutes, but they remain down 7 points with 6.5 to go in the first half. We'll be back in a moment from the Spectrum Center on 3304 Sports.
3, 2.
A 7-point advantage for South Carolina with 6.5 to go in the first half over Virginia Tech. Two offenses that have been back and forth, up and down in this game, but Nels, right now it's really the three-pointer that's been the difference maker.
Absolutely, Kyle. Virginia Tech is only 1 for 10 from long distance. The last time they made a three-pointer in this game came from Hunter Couture to put the Hokies up 11-8, but a lot has changed since then, as the Gamecocks now hold a 7-point lead. Another statistical category I mentioned earlier, South Carolina is out-rebounding the Hokies 15-9, and 12 of those rebounds have come defensively, Kyle. So not many second-chance opportunities the Gamecocks are allowing for Virginia Tech in their offensive zone. And if they want to carve themselves, out of this hole that they've currently dug themselves in, they need to rebound the ball better. And I don't know if they want to stray away from the three ball, but they got to figure that out as well.
From left to right with 6:20 on the clock is Virginia Tech, handing off to Barron, the forward for the Hokies. And now Elijah Poteet. Step back three, hand off to Couture. Front of the iron, rattles in and out. Another three missed for Virginia Tech. Rising high is the Gamecocks forward, Talon Cooper. Commandeers the offense with his right hand, dribbles with his left. Swings across the perimeter. It's B.J. Mack working in the low block at the left side now. With his right hand, he dribbles and backs down Elijah Poteet. Spins around, left-handed lay. Floats in to the bottom of the nylon. Another bucket for South Carolina. They lead it by 9. 5:50 to go. Here's Sean Padula for Virginia Tech. 1 for 11 in the last 5 minutes. Off the block, here's Robbie Barron, the transfer forward. He'll dish it to the top of the key. Barron back to Nickel, now to the inside. Poteet bodies his way to the paint and lays it up and in. 26-18, the Hokies back in the score column. 5.5 to go. Meechie Johnson for South Carolina. Hands to the top of the key, a 30-footer, nothing but nylon for Studi from way downtown. 29-19. Carolina with their largest lead of the afternoon. Sean Padula kicks it to the corner. Nickel swings to the inside. Poteet bodies his way to the paint. A right-handed lay off the mark, but he draws the foul. B.J. Mack will pick up his first of the afternoon, and Poteet will take a trip to the charity stripe.
I like what Elijah Poteet's been doing defensively. That was just a lapse. He allowed himself to carve into the inside lane. But Poteet using his body to get up and under. Like I said, Virginia Tech struggling to score from the deep ball. So why don't you send it on the inside to Elijah Poteet? Not too many whistles have been blown tonight for either team right now. This is just the second trip Virginia Tech has had to the line. South Carolina has yet to go to the free throw line so far this game as we're 15 minutes in.
First free throw for Poteet connects. Make it 29-20. Hokies trying to get back within single digits and then some with 5:10 to go here in the first half. Poteet shot more free throws than field goals last year. Also 74% from the line, pretty elite for a big man standing at 6'9". Deep breath, rises and fires, and the second free throw connects. 29-21. South Carolina from right to left in your radio dial will work up the light blue hardwood. Here's Talon Cooper. Working to the paint, hands off to Stute, crossover dribble at the top of the key, poked away by Padula, and working back the possession is Jacoby Wright for South Carolina. He'll drive to the left side of the lane, back out at the top of the key. Straight away, BJ Mack swings to the right side, Meechie Johnson to the baseline, stops at about 10 feet out. Working on the post is Sean Padula on defense, kicks to the top of the key, Talon Cooper dials up a three off the front iron and misses the target. Sean Padula skies high to the rafters for the board. Works to the left sideline, crossover dribble, makes a man miss, works to the paint. Elijah Poteet has the ball off the dish, and he's fouled from behind. The ball poked out of play, and Poteet will make another trip to the charity stripe. Mike Young with a look of disbelief. It looked like that was actually just a call for out of play, excuse me. So Hunter Couture will get the inbound for Virginia Tech. It was poked out of play by Jacoby Wright on defense.
And
Wright the mismatch there.
Wright slapped Poteet's right forearm so much you could practically see it move from up here on the radio dial, which is why Mike Young is just so in discontent with these referees. Like I said, not too many whistles called and not too many trips to the charity stripe. 2 for Virginia Tech, none for the Gamecocks.
Lob pass to Poteet at the top of the key. Hands off to Padula. Ball fake. Cuts to the inside. Barron. Swings to the far corner. Mack. MJ Collins, excuse me. Nickel has it at the top of the key, swings to Couture. Far wing, now into the post, it's Elijah Poteet. He's fouled as he picks up the ball off the pass of MJ Collins, and Poteet will now make another trip to the charity stripe.
You know, and if it's working, it's working. You know, and you want to keep going back to it. Now it looks like Hunter Couture is going to be going to the line. Looks like it was an off-ball foul there, Kyle.
Oh, no, they'll inbound from the baseline, pardon me. 20 on the shot clock, Padula. Kicks to the far wing off the inbound. It's now Hunter Couture at the straightaway. Step back, ball fake, loses his footing, and he's down with his left knee, but it falls into the hands of Poteet, who gets a right-handed floater into the back of the net. Another bucket for Virginia Tech, but Hunter Couture is down on the hardwood as we speak.
He's grabbing his left ankle there as he's helped up by Padula.
And you don't like to see that. He's limping on his right ankle now, or perhaps it is his left that he's walking gingerly on. Regardless, the Hokies back within 6 with 4:14 to go.
Yeah, Jaden Young popped up off the bench there real quick. Mike Young said, no, stay out. It looks like Hunter Couture just going to try to walk this one off. Laced up those Nike shoes right there he's got on as the referee looks down. Make sure he's checking he's okay. Took an awkward slip on the floor as he was driving at the nail, but it looks like he's going to try to play this one off. I'm not sure how I feel about this. I would take Couture off the court if I were Coach Mike Young.
Inbound for South Carolina. They're going to walk the dog up the floor, and now they pick up the ball at the midway point. 4:10 and running. Meechie Johnson hands it off to the top of the key. It's Zachary Davis back on the floor. Talon Cooper stops. Straightaway three. Back iron off the target. Rising up is Hunter Couture for the board. Maybe that ankle's just fine as he hands off to Padula. And the point guard for the Hokies will work from left to right.
Looks like Couture's putting about 90% effort out there, but looks like he got the ball now.
Poteet from 20 feet away. Bounces it out to Nickel. Back to Poteet. Right-handed lay. Off the mark, but he draws another foul. Poteet, a foul getter tonight. Right now, the big-bodied forward is working the Hokies back into this game with 3:50 to go. It's 29-23. Poteet will be at the charity stripe when we come back. But for now, we'll be back in a moment. South Carolina leads it by 6 on 3304 Sports. All right, ready?
Yep.
3, 2. 3:50 on the clock to go here in the first half of Power 5 action. It's the South Carolina Gamecocks leading the Virginia Tech Hokies in NCAA men's basketball. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame Invitational in Charlotte, North Carolina. On 3304 Sports, Kyle Marshak alongside Nels Williams. And as Elijah Poteet, the big-bodied forward, works the Hokies back into this game, you can't help but notice a whole lot of maroon in the crowd here at the Spectrum Center, Nels.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a lot of Virginia Tech alumni here in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's a very hot spot, a feeder city, if you want to say, from Virginia Tech. You know, you got to include Washington, D.C. as well. But the past decade or so, Charlotte has been a home to a lot of Hokies whenever there are young alumni events. But also, it's a little hard to tell who exactly is a home Hokie or who exactly is a Gamecock here, as they share very similar colors. But walking around the concourse, walking around the Spectrum Center, I definitely notice a lot more orange and maroon than crimson and white for South Carolina, Kyle.
Yeah, you got to wonder the difference between that Chicago maroon and South Carolina crimson. All right, here's Poteet, his second trip to the foul line for Virginia Tech. He'll lob up his first shot, and it rattles in. His third consecutive free throw made as he works the Hokies back into this. It's 29-24 South Carolina. Poteet had 66 free throws made last year, on 54 field goals. Whole lot of trips to the line for him. A deep breath, and the next free throw. Doinks off the back iron. It's a defensive rebound as Talon Cooper rises up in the air, hands it off. It's Morris Agusic on the floor for South Carolina. 3:40 on the clock. 20 on the shot clock. Swings to the top of the key. It's Stute. Now to the far sideline. It's going to be Meechie Johnson. Hands off to Agusic. Evades the double team. Swings to the far perimeter. Here's Talon Cooper. Ball fake. Swings it back out to the top of the key. Agusic. It's 7 on the shot clock. Meechie Johnson at the left elbow. Shimmies and shakes. Rises and fires.
Oh.
Nothing but nylon from 25 out. A three-pointer to get across 30 points and then some for South Carolina. They lead it by 8, 32-24.
Are you kidding me? With a defender in his face.
Tyler Nickel will take the ball at the top of the key. Now it's MJ Collins, the sophomore forward. Hands off to Hunter Couture. An off-ball foul from Potita, moving screen. He just bodied Talon Cooper. And as Hunter Couture rose and fired for a three that connected, it won't count. And South Carolina will get another possession off sloppy play from Virginia Tech. That'll be considered their third turnover of the afternoon. Inbounding just past the timeline is Talon Cooper in South Carolina. 3 minutes flat to go and running. Agusic will work from right to left on the radio dial. Zachary Davis swings it to the far corner. Talon Cooper back to Zachary Davis at the right block. Hands off. Here's Agusic working in the corner. Trapped by 2. Swings it way cross court. Football receiving catch from Meechie Johnson. Spinning from 15 out. Works across the alley. Right-handed float shot off the mark. He draws the foul off of Sean Padula. That'll be Padula's first shooting foul of the afternoon. 8-point lead for South Carolina, and at the charity stripe is a pretty efficient arm as Meechie Johnson will take the trip. Last year, 76.3% from the free throw line. Also South Carolina's second leading scorer in last year's campaign. 32-24, Gamecocks looking to make it back to double digits in their advantage. Deep breath from Johnson, couple of dribbles, and he'll let the first one fly, nothing but net.
And while they haven't gone to the line much this game, in fact, that was actually their first free throw made, South Carolina's ball movement kind of invites fouls to be called like this. You know, you see them go from the far corner all the way over to the near corner, all the way to the inside. The quick, swift ball movement is what provokes these fouls committed by these opposing teams. And if they continue to play like this, they're going to be having a lot more visits to the charity stripe, Kyle.
Second free throw, nothing but nylon. 6 fouls for South Carolina, 4 for Virginia Tech. Padula, his first of the night, works up the floor for Virginia Tech, hands off to Hunter Couture at the right side of the perimeter. Now in the right post, far out is Lynn Kidd, lobs to the inside to Padula, back out to the Lynn Kidd, tips over to the far side. MJ Collins gets the left-handed lay off the glass and in. 34-26, Hokies clawing their way back in it with 2:20 and running. Meechie Johnson pushes up the floor, coast-to-coast right-handed lob, rattles off the back iron over the reaching hands of Lynn Kidd. Meechie Johnson with some fantastic backcourt play. 36-26, South Carolina maintains a double-digit lead. Off the screen is Sean Padula, works to the left side of the alley, kicks to the corner, Nickel for 3. Nothing but nylon, you bet. 36-29, Hokies right back in it. 1:55 and running here in the first half. Meechie Johnson rolls to the right side, evades the pressure. He'll hand it off to Agusic, back out to Johnson. 20 on the shot clock. Dribbles with his left hand, swings to the far corner. Agusic, ball fake, dribbles to the inside, tosses back out. Stephen Clark denied at the rim, pokes in the hands of Zachary Davis, and now it falls into the hands of Hunter Couture, who steals it away. Strips to the right side, hands off. Here's Nickel rising and firing off the backboard. Nothing but glass as he misses from way downtown. And now it's a defensive rebound for Meechie Johnson. South Carolina will slow down the pace from right to left past the timeline. Dances on the right wing of the Hornets logo. Rolls to the right side off the screen of Clark. Tells him to go back down into the paint, and he works to the right side of the alley. Swings back out to the underside of the hoop, and it's tipped away. MJ Collins has it. Swings it to Sean Padula. He stops for 3. Kicks back out to MJ Collins. He shimmies and shakes in the corner. He'll slow down the pace with 20 on the shot clock. Crossover dribble at the left side of the top of the key, and an off-ball foul as a whistle blows. Mike Young can't believe it. Looks like perhaps a push-off call on MJ Collins. We'll see as the referees, Tony Green, Ted Valentine, will meet at midway.
Foul shot, number 15 for South Carolina.
And it looked like Hunter Couture off ball must have gotten touched as the Hokies are pushed into the bonus, and Hunter Couture would take a trip to the foul line. 56.5 on the clock. Hokies down 36-29. Hunter Couture's first shots of the afternoon. He connected at a 77% clip from last year, and he makes the first one, make it 36-30.
Jacoby Wright.
Jacoby Wright onto the floor for a Gusick for South Carolina. Hunter Couture with a deep breath. Couple of pumps off the hardwood. Bends the knees, flicks the wrists. Nothing but nylon. Make it a 36-31 contest. And Lamont Paris will call timeout, as Mike Young and his men will talk things over as well. It's a 5-point advantage for South Carolina, just under a minute to go in the first half. We'll be back in a moment on 3304 Sports. All right. Out of the timeout, the Hokies work their way back within 5 with 56.5 seconds to go before we hit the locker rooms for the halfway point of this contest. It's the South Carolina Gamecocks and the Virginia Tech Hokies in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte. From right to left, South Carolina will start with possession here out of the timeout. Jacoby Wright on the floor. He'll swing it to the left side. Back on the floor is Zachary Davis as well. Top of the key, Meechie Johnson. And to the far side off the bounce pass is Talon Cooper across the lane. Zachary Davis snags the pass at the straightaway point. Hands off to Meechie Johnson. Works in the screen to the right side. Bounce pass to the inside. BJ Mack. Nothing but net as he kisses it off the glass. A perfect pick and roll. Making a 38-31 advantage for South Carolina. 2-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Sean Padula just past the timeline. He's dribbling right now with 19 on the shot clock for Virginia Tech from left to right on your radio dial. They're down 7. We'll see what play they have drawn up here, essentially with the shot clock turned off. All men in the backcourt as Padula works to the left side of the floor. Hands off to Mekhi Long back on the floor. Looking for space from 20 feet out. Swings it to Hunter Couture. A corner three. Bounces off the glass, off the mark. And that will conclude the first half of action. 38-31, South Carolina maintains an advantage as they commandeer their way to a solid lead at the midway point of the contest. That'll wrap things up for the first 20 minutes of action. Nels Williams will take you the rest of the way, but for now, Kyle Marshak will be back in a moment on 3304 Sports from the Spectrum Center at the Basketball Hall of Fame Invitational.
Second half action between Virginia Tech and the South Carolina Gamecocks is just about 2 minutes and 30 seconds away here from the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, where the Gamecocks lead the Hokies by a score of 38-31. Good evening from Charlotte. I'm Nels Williams, joined alongside by Kyle Marshak. Kyle, had your play-by-play in the first half. I'll take over in the second frame here in Charlotte. And Kyle, Virginia Tech's down by 7. How did they get to this point, and what are they doing to fix themselves here?
I'll answer the question with another question. Where's the backcourt play, right? Sean Padula, Hunter Couture supposed to be the main scorers. Sean Padula was the team's second leading scorer last year, and Hunter Couture would have been the leading scorer if he didn't deal with the injury bug last year for Virginia Tech. Two guys that are highly touted at their position, too. Top 5 in the ACC at their primes, right? Obviously, last year was kind of off kilter for the Hokies. But right now, well, you've got Hunter Couture on the floor with 5 points to his credit after a whole half of basketball. Sean Padula, 4. So a combined 9 points from your backcourt, not going to cut it.
And not only that, the backcourt has been cold from long distance. 2 for 14 from long range. South Carolina, on the other hand, 6 for 11 from the floor as a total. Virginia Tech is 11 for 30. To energize this backcourt and to get the Hokies back in the game, they're currently down 38-31. What does Tech need to do here, Kyle?
Well, I think, first of all, they've just got to take better care of the ball. Obviously, both teams have struggled with the turnover. Virginia Tech just 1 to their credit and 6 to South Carolina. But, well, they've had a couple of balls stolen away. And for the most part, too, the defense from South Carolina has been suffocating enough where it feels like Virginia Tech's just forcing up some shots. So, yeah, they just got to find the open shot. They've got to take care of that shot selection, make sure they're doing the right ones.
And another statistical category that does not favor the Hokies. South Carolina is out-rebounding Tech 18-12, but most importantly, South Carolina has 15 of those 18 on the defensive side of the ball. Not many second-chance opportunities, not many kickouts to reset offensively for Virginia Tech. But we're just about underway here in the Hall of Fame Series Invitational here in Charlotte, North Carolina, from the Spectrum Center between the Hokies and the Gamecocks. We'll get your second half action up next here on 3304 Sports. 3, 2. Just a few seconds away from the second half of action between Virginia Tech and South Carolina here in the Hall of Fame Series Invitational between the Gamecocks and the Hokies. First game was a thriller. Went down to the wire between Florida and Virginia, and it looks like the Hokies and Gamecocks are set to do the same here. 20 minutes on the clock. It'll be South Carolina ball. South Carolina now moving left to right from your radio dial in their white and crimson red jerseys with the red lettering. Virginia Tech in the orange and white script. Mike Young currently talking to head referee Ted Valentine right now, looking to energize and charge up this team, down 38-31.
Yeah, it hasn't been a high-scoring matchup, and I was talking with our other 3304 correspondent down on the sideline for us, Kendall Williams, and said it's kind of odd, right? The rhythm of that game in the first half. They came out guns a-blazing, Nels, and then it felt like after some foul trouble, a couple of timeouts, well, at least for Virginia Tech specifically, they couldn't find a bucket.
Yeah, it was certainly a sprint, not a marathon, between the Hokies and the Gamecocks early on. Both teams coming out fast. 16-15 was a score. It felt like in the first, 7-6 minutes. And then things really slowed down the pace on either side. And that was mainly fueled by the fact that Virginia Tech has just struggled so much on the floor. Mentioned it early on, 2 of 14 from 3, but here we go. Second half action right here as Miles Stute inbound to Talon Cooper, defended by Sean Padula, now one kid off the ball screen. As losing a handle on it is B.J. Mack, puts up a mid-range floater, and that will count. 40-31 Gamecocks as they score within the first 15 seconds here in the second half. Padula leads it up the court to Collins, top of the straightaway. Lynn Kidd hands it back off to Padula. He'll let it fly for a long three-pointer. Count it, Sean Padula. 34-40, and Sean Padula is 1 for 4 now after that made three-pointer from distance. He's got 7 on the night now. Talon Cooper defended by Sean Padula, gives it off to Stute. Stute working on the right elbow. Now the right post against Collins. He kicks it back up straight away to Cooper. Cooper left wing now. Picks up his dribble. He's got to hand it up to Johnson. Fires a deep three off the front of the rim. Batted away by Barron. And it ends back up into the hands of the Gamecocks. Good defensive rebound there. Offensive rebound by Miles Stute. It's Mack now. Mack working against Kinn in the right post. Still working his way in. Fans want a call. And it is taken away by Robbie Barron, given up to Hunter Couture, who crosses the timeline. Sean Padula straight away, now looking for Kidd on the interior. Instead, he hands it off to the left to MJ Collins, who gives it to Kidd. And Kidd is charged with an offensive foul, and the many Hokies in attendance do not like that call.
Yeah, Kidd just did a great job of keeping his hands up in the air on defense, but when he uses his size down on offense, well, I guess B.J. Mack did a good job of drawing that foul, right? Planted his feet outside of the restricted area and hit the hardwood.
That's Lynn Kidd's first foul of the night. 18:40 remaining here in the second half. Talon Cooper bringing it up the court for the Gamecocks. Hands it off to his left, B.J. Mack, left wing now. As that's Stute. Johnson, right wing. Clark hands it back off to Johnson. Far corner, kicks back into the inside, brings it back out. Johnson with 7 to shoot now, defended by Barron. Johnson's going to drive the lane, kick it out to Clark. Clark, right hand off the glass, no good. Putback is good, though. Stephen Clark follows up on his own shot to make it 42-34 Gamecocks. What a great individual effort there by the Charlotte, North Carolina native. Sean Padula to Barron. Straight away. Lynn Kidd at the nail. Thinks about handing it back to Barron. Instead, he gives it to Couture. Couture from the nail. Loses a handle on it, picks it back up with his left hand. Bounce pass to Kidd, and we're going to get a foul again by Lynn Kidd, I believe. Or is that on B.J. Mack? That is on B.J. Mack. Teddy Valentine, emotional as always with these calls.
Foul charge, number 2, next, B.J. Mack for the Gamecocks.
So B.J. Mack picks up his 3rd personal foul. Surely Lamont Paris cannot be happy with that. Hunter Couture inbounds. Rainbows it to Lynn Kidd. Top of the key now, Padula. Back to Couture. Backdoor cut. Couture double team. Triple team now. Still has it on him. And he kicks it out right wing to MJ Collins. MJ Collins thinks about the 3 steps back. Bounce pass to Lynn Kidd. Right post. Skids inside and slams it home. Lynn Kidd makes it 36-42. What a beautiful play by Collins and Kidd to connect to cut the lead within 6 for the Hokies. Virginia Tech fans certainly like that one as Talon looking to settle here. The Tech fans are getting loud here in the Spectrum Center. Miles Stute can't make it to go. Lynn Kidd now sends it up to Sean Padula. Looking to pick up the pace is Padula. Left wing MJ Collins drives the lane, kicks it back out to Padula. Deep left wing 3, you bet! Sean Padula, his 2nd three-pointer of the night, and it is now 39-42. Just like that, South Carolina's lead has been evaporated. And Lamont Paris calls a timeout to settle down his Gamecocks as the Virginia Tech fans in attendance here in Charlotte are on their feet. What an electric sequence of events there, Kyle.
You got two guys when they're working in tandem that can be spark plugs on offense, and it's Sean Padula and Lynn Kidd. We've seen games last year where Kidd can really just annihilate his presence down low. And once you get the backcourt bouncing that ball down to Kidd and he can find space, man, it's a special offense, and right now that's how they're functioning.
The script has been flipped from the first to the second half. The Gamecocks currently 0 for 1 from deep. Virginia Tech is 2 for 2 from the three-point line thanks to Sean Padula. He's got 10 on the night now. Now perfect from the floor is the Hokies. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, don't go anywhere. It's starting to heat up here in Charlotte as Virginia Tech is just 3 points away from tying South Carolina 39-42. 3, 2. Virginia Tech has come alive here in the first 3 minutes of the second half in the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, as they have cut the deficit to 3, as the Gamecocks now lead 42-39. Good evening, everybody. If you're just joining us, I'm Nels Williams, joined alongside Kyle Marshak. And Kyle, the Hokies' offense has come alive truly in this second half. What have you seen so far from Virginia Tech?
Well, again, I talk about that tandem of offense, right? It's going to be that backcourt play alongside Lynn Kidd. And it's about finding different spark plugs out of the half. And right now, it is Lynn Kidd. I mean, that play he had in the low block, spun around, found the space, and just slammed it home. That doesn't happen without guys like MJ Collins and Sean Padula finding him. But last half, well, they were just forcing the ball to the paint, but they got to have guys open, way better ball movement around the perimeter, and that opens up spots on the floor like Lynn Kidd down low.
When you have guys like MJ Collins and Sean Padula that are so slithery and they can create space out of anywhere, out of any pocket of air, you're able to get those guys who are, big in the interior like Elijah Petit and Lynn Kidd. And like you said, this is exactly what MJ Collins did. Thunderous slam from the right block, able to energize this sleepy Virginia Tech crowd that frankly was disappointed, and rightfully was so, with how they performed in the first half. In the first 20, Virginia Tech was just 11 for 30 from the floor, 2 for 14 from deep, but 2 Sean Padula three-pointers, as well as that Lynn Kidd slam, have cut the lead to just 3 after they started the half 38-31. 42-39 is the Gamecocks' lead over the Hokies. It's going to be the same starters out on the floor, and Lynn Kidd, Robbie Barron, Sean Padula, MJ Collins, and Hunter Couture. It's going to be Talon Cooper, Miles Stute, Benjamin Bozeman-Verdonk steps in, as well as Meechie Johnson. And finally, it's going to be Zachary Davis, as Lamont Paris is looking to kickstart some offense here for the Gamecocks. Talon Cooper brings it up the court and just now passes over the logo here in Buzz City. Straight away now, it's Stewart, loses a handle on it. Right wing, it's Bozeman-Verdonk, defended well by Kidd. 14 to shoot now. Stute hands it off to Johnson. Johnson drives the lane, rolls around and falls in. Toilet bowl swirl, 44-39. Sean Padula with the rock for Virginia Tech. Right wing now, MJ Collins. Back straight away, Robbie Barron. Robbie Barron spins around Collins, right wing again. Back to Barron, top of the key. Down low into the interior to Lynn Kidd. Now backed out to the nail. Defended by Bozeman-Verdonk and stolen away by Zachary Davis. And we're going to say a kickball. South Carolina possession now as Teddy Valentine rules.
Yeah, again, that goes back to the Hokies' inability to really pass the ball around the perimeter. I think there's a really good perimeter defense by South Carolina that Lamont Paris has definitely instilled in this squad. You could see it.
Mekhi Long now in for Robbie Barron, and as Mike Young having a long discussion with Robbie Barron, he seems irate as Barron heads back to the bench. Johnson now stolen away. MJ Collins picks it up in a fast break. It's a 3-on-2. Instead, Collins is going to settle this one down as Collins drives the lane with the right hand, spins around, dishes out to Lynn Kidd on the left block. Kidd now to MJ Collins' left wing. Collins with 15 to shoot. Steps back, thinks about the 3, gives it to Kidd at the left block again. Kidd drives the interior into the paint. Right hand floater, you bet. 41-44 thanks to Lynn Kidd. And he's a playmaker, Kyle.
Again, Lynn Kidd, I think, just outsizes pretty much everyone South Carolina has, which is one of the few things they really lack across the roster.
Johnson guarded by Couture, top of the key. Hands it off to Bozeman-Verdonk. He drives the lane at the mid-post, and he is fouled. No, it looks like it's an off-ball foul, and that's going to be on Lynn Kidd. That is Lynn Kidd's second of the night. And we're going to take immediate timeout here and step away as South Carolina still leads by 3 this time. It's a score of 44-41. Don't go anywhere. Looks like things are heating up here in the Spectrum Center as the Hokies are only down by 3 here on 3304 Sports. 3, 2. Virginia Tech is still down by 3, but they're continuing to claw their way back and keep it in this game as the Gamecocks lead the Hokies by a score of 44-41. Here on 3304 Sports, I'm Nels Williams, joined along by Kyle Marshak. And Kyle, it really feels like the Hokies' offense has woken up here in Charlotte tonight in the second half.
Yeah, well, let's put it this way, right? Lynn Kidd, 6 points in the first half. Sean Padula finished with 4. Right now, we're just 5 minutes into the contest in the second portion of play, and both guys have nearly doubled their score. Sean Padula with 10, Lynn Kidd with 10. When you have those two guys combining for 20 points and you're just 75% of the way through the contest, you know what? Maybe you're en route to having a good offensive performance, and Virginia Tech is curating that right now.
Both Lynn Kidd and Sean Padula have 10 points on the night, but they still are not atop the scorer sheet. That belongs to Miles Stute of the South Carolina Gamecocks. He's got 13 points. He had 10 in the first half, but he's been quiet so far in the second. And for South Carolina head coach Lamont Paris, he's certainly looking to get him more activated as Stute is still on the court for the Gamecocks. Cooper on the inbound on the left side of the timeline. On the baseline part of me as that's inbounded to Bozeman's Verdank in the near corner. Back up top, it's Cooper, guarded by Padula. 13 seconds to shoot on the game clock, just under 15 minutes and 30 seconds here. Cooper, right wing, all the way across to Stute. Stute pulls up left wing mid-jumper. You bet! Count it. The three-pointer from Miles Stute. He's got 16 points in the night, and he's 4 for 5 from long range. Sean Padula looking to respond. He's got 2 3-pointers in this second half. Lynn Kidd, right wing. Kind of a mix-up with Tyler Nickel. He still ends up with Hunter Couture. Dishes it down, bounce pass to Kidd. In the mid-block, left-hand floater, rolls out. Too much strength on that one. Johnson now at the Spectrum Center logo. Guarded by Couture. Right corner, Cooper. Cooper drives the lane inside. A right hand off the window. Talon Cooper takes it himself to make it 48-41 Gamecocks. And once again, their lead is 7 with 14 minutes and 30 seconds to go here before time expires in the second half. Sean Padula straight away now. He works his way in right block, sends it into the interior to Lynn Kidd. Kidd working his way off of Bozeman's Verdank, loses a handle on it, and looks like it's going to be ruled out of bounds on the Gamecocks. Virginia Tech ball. Mike Young is irate at the officiating as he's been all night. Couldn't believe there wasn't a call there in favor of Lynn Kidd.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I don't know if it's Lynn Kidd's build, if the refs believe that he's more prone to just looking like he's getting fouled, so they're not ready to blow the whistle, but Lynn Kidd looks like he's getting mauled down there in the paint.
Lynn Kidd takes a breather on the bench in favor of Melangelo Petit coming in for the big man. Sean Padula is to inbound, and the aura of the Charlotte Hornets' stripped logo there on the baseline. Still awaiting some word. Looks like we got some discussion here from Meechie Johnson and referees Tony Green and Ted Valentine. As finally, Johnson looks like he's still talking to Valentine. And I think they're going to review. No,
they've got KB Burdett over at the scorer's table.
Yeah, not sure exactly what's going on here. Maybe they're reviewing as to whether or not this was kicked out by the Gamecocks?
At this point, I couldn't tell you.
A lot of standing around and befuddlement here as Lamont Paris is getting his words into these referees.
You know, baseball is usually that sport that you get a lot of conversation, but it feels like we're in between pitches right now. In between half innings, if you will.
Yeah, fans are getting a little bit upset here as there's no word so far as to what exactly this pause is for. And it looks like they were just going to reset the shot clock from 20 seconds to 15 seconds. Padula's still on the inbound. He's got to get it away. Gets it to Hunter Couture. Far corner three-pointer. Cash! Hunter Couture! He is now 1 3-pointer away from tying Wally Lancaster for 3rd all time in Virginia Tech history. And that three-pointer pulls the Hokies within 5, 44-49. Up top, it's Johnson with 14 to shoot, guarded by Agent Zero. Off the pick and roll, it's Melangelo Petit now. Johnson still has the ball. Johnson drives the interior, right-handed floater. Too much power off the right of the glass. Here comes Tyler Nickel now in transition, and he's going to slow it down. No, he's going to kick it to Mekhi Long, and one! Mekhi Long drives the lane, right-handed layup off of the glass. And it's 46-48 with a trip to the charity stripe for Mekhi Long. His first points of the night have come in a crucial moment with 13 minutes and 46 seconds on the clock.
And this is massive. I mean, you got to cash this one to bring it back within reach because the Hokies have not been within less of a possession since 5 minutes into the first half of play.
It looked like Tyler Nickel there in transition was going to slow it down, but a head fake bounce pass to Mekhi Long down at the right block. Was able to get Long to the free throw line. He misses the first one, but Mlađo Petit gets the offensive rebound. Sean Padula picks it up, kick out, right wing. Hunter Couture three-pointer. Too much mustard on that shot. Rattles off the iron. South Carolina with the board. It's Morris Ugasuk. Ugasuk calling his own shot. Instead, he hands it off to Wright. Jacoby Wright to the left. Cooper. He gets it up straight away, defended by Petit. 14 to shoot now. Kicks it inside to Mack. Mack takes it up himself, and the finish. 50-46, B.J. Mack using all that size of him. All 6'8". Makes it 50-46. Lead now 4 in favor of South Carolina. Mekhi Long, top of the key. At the nail, it's Petit. And Hunter Couture is going to draw a foul, it looks like, on Jacoby Wright there as he takes a hard fall to the floor. Fortunately, he is okay. Couture did take a stumble earlier. Looked like he was grabbing his ankle, but I don't know what he did exactly, but Hunter Couture looks perfectly fine and perfectly normal, like that never even happened, Kyle.
Yeah, Jacoby Wright just slammed Couture's left shoulder in transition, and man, Couture's been taking some damage today.
Sean Padula over to Tyler Nickel in the right wing. Nickel guarded by Cooper. Down low to Mekhi Long at the right block. Works his way in, up and under, too much power off the top of the glass. Gamecocks ball. Cooper flips it over to his right to Ugasuk. Right wing, Ugasuk. Far corner, Jacoby Wright. Hunter Couture poked away at it, and it's going to be determined. That's still Gamecocks ball as Hunter Couture is having a lively conversation with Teddy Valentine. And the Gamecocks will inbound from right in front of their bench. It'll be Ugasuk. Tyler Nickel looking to wave that ball away. He inbounds to Jacoby Wright, top of the key. To his left, it's Cooper. He gets it back up top to Mack. Hands it off to Stute. Stute flips it over to his left to Mack. In the interior, Cooper right-handed layup. What a beautiful play there. Cooper is fired up as the Gamecocks lead by 6. Great play call by Lamont Paris to get everyone out of the interior for enough for Cooper to cook. Speaking of cooking, Sean Padula with the mid-range floater from the right elbow. That'll fall. And Virginia Tech feels like they're in this purgatory of 4 points between the Gamecocks and the Hokies. 48-52. Virginia Tech is only down by 4. Mack, the right wing, guarded by Petit. Mack looks about driving the right mid-post. Defended by Petit, switches around to his right. Still defending right-handed floater. Got it! B.J. Mack using that massive frame of his. He's got 10 points on the night and extend the Gamecock lead to 6 points, 54-48. Hunter Couture up top for Mlađo Petit. To his left, Padula. He drives the lane, mid-post. Tries to go for the layup, but he draws the foul, loses a handle on the ball, though. And the foul will be called on Talon Cooper. And that is Cooper's first foul of the night. So the Gamecocks and the Hokies in back and forth seesawing action. No one is going to give here as Virginia Tech still finds himself down by a few possessions. 54-48 is your score between the Gamecocks and the Hokies. Don't go anywhere as it's heating up here in Charlotte. 3, 2. Between Virginia Tech and South Carolina, neither team is giving each other any leeway here in Charlotte for the Basketball Hall of Fame Invitational. 54-48 is your score between the Gamecocks and the Hokies. Nels Williams joined alongside Callum Marshak. And Kyle, it's been an offensive explosion here early on in the second half.
Yeah, the field goal percentage has definitely gone up, and I think it starts with Virginia Tech just moving the ball better. They have 3 assists from Sean Padula, who didn't have any to talk about in that first half, so I think that kind of speaks for itself. MJ Collins has helped dish the ball a little bit more, and you know what? Backcourt play on both sides has improved a little bit, although Virginia Tech's defense has stunted the growth of Stute a little bit in this half for South Carolina.
Miles Stute with 10 points in the first half. He's only got 15 now, only a gain of 5. But one stat I want to look at the most, the fact that Virginia Tech 7 for 11, South Carolina 8 for 11. Neither team has really found a cold streak so far with 11:40 remaining in the first half. we'll have Sean Padula going to the line for the Hokies. First shot, and he missed it.
Don't see that very often.
No, you do not. Sean Padula made all of his free throws that he attempted in the first game versus Coppin State, and he'll have a chance to rectify himself here as he looks to make it 49-54 as referee Tony Green is at the scorer's table. Looks like we got another stoppage again. Not sure what they're discussing over there. First time around was changing around the shot clock in the last possession, or no, sorry, not last possession, just a few minutes ago. Kyle, any guesses as to what they're discussing down there?
And I've got nothing. Again, this is KB Burdett having a conversation with the scorer's table. He was pointing to the left side of the floor. Last time it was the shot clock, like you said. I mean, when we came out of the timeout, this time, I mean, it was just a free throw. So what could they possibly be talking about? Perhaps the scorer's table mistakenly ran the clock?
So the PA announcer just announced that a two-pointer called on the floor earlier attempted was actually a three-pointer. So it's 56-49 after Sean Padula makes his second free throw, but it was 55-48 prior to that encounter. Either way, Gamecocks still lead by 6, 55-49. A shade under 11 minutes and 30 seconds now here in this second half. Gamecocks ball, BJ Mack outside of the right post, guarded by Lynn Kidd. He's backing his way down. BJ Mack against Lynn Kidd. Really defensive battle here by Kidd. He swats it away. No good. BJ Mack. Sean Padula ends up with the board. Padula, top of the key now for the Hokies. Makes a man miss, and he loses a handle on it. Mekhi Long, right block, off the window and in. What a chaotic series of events there. But either way, the Hokies find the board and once again pull themselves within 4, 51-55. Ugasuk, top of the key. To his right, BJ Mack. He'll unleash a three-pointer. Oh, my goodness, BJ Mack. Ring him up, 58-51. BJ Mack, 1 for 2 now on the night. 13 points for the Gamecocks. Mekhi Long has that ball stripped away by Cooper. He's able to regain possession. Lynn Kidd now from the nail. Hands it off to Tyler Nickel. He'll drive the post. Elbow, now mid-post. Kicks it back up top, Mekhi Long. He's got 11 to shoot. Bounce past Lynn Kidd on the right post. Lynn Kidd working his way in, shouldering BJ Mack. He picks up his dribble. He's got nowhere to go. 5 to shoot. Hunter Couture, three-pointer. Too much mustard on that one. Rebound goes to the Gamecocks. Michi Johnson brings it up the court for South Carolina. Fast in possession, picks up his dribble, won't go. Lynn Kidd with the rebound. Fans wanted to call. Instead, it's Sean Padula leading it the other way for Virginia Tech. Near corner, Tyler Nickel fakes the three, drives the lane right off the board, and no good is his layup, and he draws the foul. What a sequence of events that there was, Kyle.
Yeah, catch your breath. NASCAR speed right there. And Tyler Nickel's the one to really have the smart play. He had the shot in the corner, saw the pressure was coming. Instead, pump fake, rolled to the paint, and just said, I'll take the contact any day of the week. I think that's a smart play by Nickel to try and slow things down.
Michi Johnson with his first personal foul on the night for the Gamecocks. Tyler Nickel to the line now. He'll be shooting 2 for Virginia Tech. He'll look to make it 53-58. Nickel collects himself. First shot up. Count it. 52-58 thanks to Tyler Nickel's first free throw as we are 1 second away from the 10-minute mark. Second attempt up, and it's good. 53-58 Virginia Tech. Now 10 minutes to go here in the Hall of Fame Invitational Series between Virginia Tech and South Carolina. Nels Williams and Kyle Marshak, they've got you the rest of the way in this incredible game between an SEC and ACC opponents. Top of the key now, Johnson. Fakes his left, and instead he'll send it off to Stute. Right corner now, it's right. Mid-range jumper, puts it up, will not go. Lynn Kidd with the rebound.
Defense is shored up for Virginia Tech for sure.
Sean Padula after the chest pass from Lynn Kidd, puts his moves on, drives the lane, left-hand finish. Are you kidding me, Sean Padula? Beautiful ball-handling movement, pulls the Hokies within 3 points, 55-58. As these Virginia Tech fans and attendants in Charlotte are on their feet, encouraging the Hokies to finally take their lead, which they have not done since the first half early on, but an answer immediately by Michi Johnson, who pushes the interior to put the Gamecocks back up by 5, 60-55. Sean Padula, floater, and he draws the foul from Miles Stute, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. That's Miles Stute's second foul of the night.
Yeah, wonderful work right there. Sean Padula said, I'm going to pick probably the best scorer on the floor right now and just bring it to him. Drew a much-needed foul for Virginia Tech.
Taking a look at players in foul trouble, B.J. Mack currently has 3 for the Gamecocks, and for Virginia Tech, no player has above 2. In fact, Lynn Kidd only Hokie with 2 fouls to his name as Padula sinks the first free throw, 56-60, as we'll have Cooper and Davis coming onto the court with Ugasuk and Stute heading to the bench for Lamont Paris's Gamecocks. No substitutions for Virginia Tech as Padula puts up the second free throw, and it's good. Virginia Tech within 3 again, 57-60. Right wing Cooper, back straight away for Johnson. To his left, he's got Wright. Back to Johnson, right wing, guarded by Couture. Bounce pass down low to B.J. Mack against Lynn Kidd. We've seen that all night. He puts it up, and it's good. B.J. Mack, so versatile from everywhere on the court with a 16-footer there by Mack, 62-57 South Carolina. Lynn Kidd left angle, up top, Mekhi Long. Right side, Tyler Nichols straight away. Connor Couture now from Lynn Kidd. Couture up top again for Long. Playing to the perimeter are the Hokies as Sean Padula looking to make his way in for Lynn Kidd. Padula top of the key. Tyler Nichols wants it instead. He'll send it by himself. Padula slips, has to pick up his rebound. Mekhi Long's got it, and he slams it home! Mekhi Long! 59-62 Virginia Tech with under 8 minutes remaining here in the Spectrum Center. Virginia Tech still has not been able to crack a tie here with the Gamecocks, who've responded offensively seemingly every time. Right, up top for Davis. Cooper, right wing. Davis wants it in the interior, can't find him from Cooper. Right now, drives the lane, kicks it out. Instead, that's Johnson. Puts up a 3-ball. Will not go. B.J. Mack with the rebound. No! Swiped away by Lynn Kidd. Ends up in the hands of Sean Padula, who crosses the timeline. Once Lynn Kidd with a rainbow chest pass. Too much power on that one as that escapes the hands of Lynn Kidd. As we'll head to a media timeout, Virginia Tech is inching closer and closer to that Gamecocks lead, but they have been unable to take the lead so far here in this second half. It's just been an offensive seesaw back and forth between the Hokies and the Gamecocks. 3, 2. It's been an offensive explosion here, and it's the side of the Spectrum Center in Charlotte, North Carolina, between the Virginia Tech Hokies and the South Carolina Gamecocks, as the Hokies have been tantalizingly close to taking that lead, or at least cutting it to a tie with the Gamecocks, Kyle. But for Tech to be able to do that here with just under 7.5 minutes remaining, who needs to lead the Hokies to that point?
Well, if you're Virginia Tech, time is your friend, right? Because you're a one possession away from tying this thing up. And it comes down to whether or not you can slow down the pace enough to find the bucket you're looking for. It's 7.5 minutes, right? So if you tie things up, you can start to hit the cruise control and maintain control of the pace of this game. And it starts again with the backcourt. Both backcourts have struggled in terms of deciding which pace they want. We've seen the pace of this game go up and down, up and down. You saw in that last sequence where the Hokies were on the gas pedal, it felt like they could get a bucket, but they could never jump ahead in that lead because you got guys like Talon Cooper and Meechie Johnson in transition for South Carolina who work way better in a fast-paced offense as opposed to, let's say, a lesser experienced offense with a couple of freshmen and sophomores on the floor for Virginia Tech. Of course, that's excluding Hunter Couture and Sean Padula. But you saw in the last play, Sean Padula's like, all right, we're pushing the ball in transition and then lob the ball up over the head of this 6'10" center in Lynn Kidd. So I think it's a pace thing right now for Sean Padula.
For Sean Padula so far tonight, he's got 17 points. That currently leads all scorers, not just the Hokies. Lynn Kidd follows with 10 points, and you're right, that would have been such a crucial get for Padula to be able to connect with Kidd down there, because if he put that up, it would have been an easy layup right inside of the interior, and that would have made it 61-62. Virginia Tech still not been able to even tie in the second half or hold on to a lead for any moment. It's just been, like I said earlier, a seesaw of an offense between these two teams. Virginia Tech 10 for 16 from the floor. South Carolina 11 for 18. Virginia Tech looking to get a crucial defensive stop as Talon Cooper is leading the Gamecocks' offense here. Chest pass to Bozeman's Verdonk. As Johnson got it stuck, they whip it around to Stute. Long three-pointer, rattles around, kicked out. And it's still going to be Gamecocks' ball as we're going to have a foul on the floor. Sean Padula can't believe it, Kyle.
Yeah, it looks like it might have been called on Tyler Nickel, who was boxing out for the rebound. That'll be his first, but it just feels like the refs like to kill the momentum of Virginia Tech a little bit. Not to be biased, of course, it goes both ways, but Hokies have made some silly mistakes in the paint so far tonight.
That foul was actually called on Melagel Petit. That is his second foul of the night. Simply a general defensive foul. So under 7 minutes remaining, 20 seconds onto the game clock. It'll be Johnson, chest pass inbounding to Jacoby Wright. Right corner three, 65-59 Gamecocks. Oh my goodness. Just when you think Virginia Tech can get a defensive stop, Wright from the far corner knocks it down to put the Gamecocks up by 6. Padula now with it, top of the key. Step back three-pointer. Bingo! Sean Padula. 62-65. Three-pointer response from Sean Padula there after the Gamecocks get one of their own. Johnson looking to draw an offensive play. Left side now, backs top straightaway. Looking for offensive help. Chest pass to his left to right. Wright drives the lane with the left hand. Right hand floater won't go. Rebound ends up in the hands of Bozeman's Verdonk. They whip it around up top to Johnson. Chest pass over. Left wing three-pointer from Wright won't go. Ball still loose onto the ground. And we're going to have a jump ball here. Virginia Tech fans want to travel. But we're going to have a timeout onto the floor, as it'll be Virginia Tech possession. Tyler Nickel substituting in for MJ Collins.
Man, what a chaotic game. I think Virginia Tech's inability to get the board is really hurting them right now. 27 for South Carolina, just 19 for the Hokies.
And not only is it 27 for South Carolina, 19 of those have come defensively. Sean Padula leads the charge with 5 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. He hands it off to Petit, who gives it to Nickel. Right wing, long three-pointer, too much power, and the rebound falls once again defensively into the Gamecocks' hands as Bozeman's Verdonk gobbles up the board. Johnson now at the point of attack. Bounce pass down low to Bozeman's Verdonk, working against Petit from the left block. Spins around, has to pick up his dribble and give it back out to Wright. Right wing now back up top. Chest pass, long three-pointer from Meechie Johnson will not go, and Sean Padula ends up with the board. Still 62-65 with 5:20 remaining here in Charlotte. Sean Padula takes it himself, tries to skip it out to Melagel Petit in the interior, but that ball will skip off of a Gamecocks' hand, and it will still remain Virginia Tech possession.
They've got 21 on the shot clock right here. I think you got to slow things down and just try and get a bucket. Doesn't have to be a three to tie it, just get a bucket.
Lynn Kidd now in for Melagel Petit as Bozeman's Verdonk and Wright heads off of the court. BJ Mack now in again for the Gamecocks, as Talon Cooper is out and Jacoby Wright is back in. Or pardon me, Talon Cooper is back in, as well as BJ Mack. Bozeman's Verdonk and Jacoby Wright are off the court for the Gamecocks. Sean Padula with the ball, 21 seconds on the shot clock. He lofts it up to Mekhi Long at the nail. Long inside, Hunter Couture up and in. Hunter Couture with his left hand finish cuts the lead within one now, 64-65. These Hokies fans are on their feet here in the Spectrum Center. They want to see a big defensive stop here. South Carolina instead wants to quiet these fans as Stute drives it himself, defended by Long, and we're going to have a foul on the court against Mekhi Long as Miles Stute was driving in. That is Mekhi Long's second foul of the night.
Again, luckily no one in foul trouble for Virginia Tech, but you've got to look on the other side of things. You got BJ Mack with 3 and a couple other guys with a pair to their credit.
Miles Stute now at the charity stripe shooting 2. He's looking to pull this lead back to 3 points. First shot is up, and he makes it. 66-64 in favor of the Gamecocks here. Miles Stute has been everything South Carolina and Lamont Paris has wanted from tonight. He's got 17 points now thanks to that, but most importantly, he is 4 for 5 from beyond the arc. 12 points have come from the 3-ball. Second free throw on the way. Stute, calm and collected, puts it up, and he cashes. 67-64, South Carolina with 4 minutes and 50 seconds remaining here in the second game of this Hall of Fame Series Invitational. Mackay long chest pass over to Nickel. Nickel back to Couture. Straightaway three-pointer. Bang! Hunter Couture is now tied the all-time three-pointer record with Wally Lancaster. And not only that, he has tied South Carolina 67-67. BJ Mack now working his way at the mid-post against Lynn Kidd, shouldering his way down, right-hand finish. It swirls around and in, and South Carolina retakes the lead, 69-67. Oh my goodness, what a sequence of events there, Kyle.
Some tough shots by big-name guys for both squads there.
Sean Padula working his way in, left, right, Euro step, draws the foul. And he's gonna go to the line, looking to tie this Gamecocks lead of 2 points. Oh my goodness, Virginia Tech is just not giving up here. Hunter Couture tied the game for the first time in a long time, in 20-plus minutes. The first tie of any lead here in this second half. Miles Stute, more importantly, picks up his third foul of the night. That's got to be on Lamont Paris' mind as Padula shoots for two, and he makes the first one. Mike Young giving instructions to Hunter Couture, Tyler Nickel, and Sean Padula on what exactly to do here defensively, it seems. As Sean Padula comes back to the line, and he looks to tie at 69 apiece here between the Hokies and the Cocks. Second ball up, and he connects. 69-69 with under 4 minutes remaining here from the Spectrum Center between South Carolina and Virginia Tech. It looks like for the second straight game between the SEC and ACC, it's coming down to the wire. Stute, kick out, BJ Mack, left wing three-pointer, too much power, Sean Padula. Who else with the rebound for Virginia Tech? Crosses the line, behind his back dribble, chest pass, Mackay long, whip it around Tyler Nickel left wing, looks for Lynn Kidd on the interior, and he won't get it to him. Nickel is stuck as Padula straight away now helps out. Kidd with the screen, Padula puts up a wonky three-pointer, and we're gonna have a foul on the Gamecocks. Sean Padula is gonna be shooting three, and he's looking to take the lead as these Virginia Tech fans are all on their feet here from the Spectrum Center. And that's going to be on Jacoby Wright, his second personal foul of the night. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, Sean Padula is going to the line to shoot 3 points as Virginia Tech looks to take the lead for the first time since the first half against South Carolina here in the Basketball Hall of Fame Series Invitational from Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, all right. We are all tied here in Charlotte, North Carolina as the Gamecocks and Hokies find themselves at 69 points apiece with just a little bit under 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining here in the second half. Nels Williams, Kyle Marshak join alongside me. It's been a thriller of a second half here as both teams have exploded offensively, Kyle.
Yeah, and Sean Padula, a la James Harden, just drew 3 shots at the free throw line. Clutch for the Hokies.
First shot up, and there it is. Virginia Tech retakes the lead for the first time since the first half. They've tied twice, have never had the lead. Sean Padula, second shot up. He got it. 71-69 now. Third attempt here from Sean Padula to put the Hokies up by 3. He puts it up. Yes, sir. Sean Padula now has 25 points on the night, leading all scorers. 3 minutes and 26 seconds separate us and the end of regulation here as the Gamecocks find themselves down here for the first time in this second half. Mack, chest pass to right. Straight away now, chest pass left. Back to Stute from Mack. Right, slashes the lane, Couture. From the left block, puts up the floater, and he counted, and one. Oh my goodness, Jacoby Wright puts the team on his back, 72-71, still the lead, but now Wright's going to the line. What a response by the Gamecocks.
Wright found, well, the right part of the floor that he knows he can shoot from. Man, was that shot contested. Perhaps he knew he could draw the foul, but the fact that he connected on the shot makes it that much more efficient, right?
72-71, Virginia Tech leads now for the first time since way early on in the first half. It's about 15 minutes. First shot up by Wright, and he makes it. He was only shooting one, and we are tied yet again. Makai Long inbounds to Sean Padula, who crosses the timeline, and he faces Talon Cooper. Nickel, Petit, handoff Padula, top of the key, behind his back dribble, loses it, picks it back up. Padula looking to create an offensive scheme here between Long and Couture. Couture separates, Padula still got it. Padula slashes, drives the lane, and we're going to have an off-ball foul called on South Carolina. And that's going to be on Talon Cooper. He's got 2 tonight. And Sean Padula will now be shooting again. 9 fouls already on South Carolina in this half. Sean Padula, he tied it at 70. He took the lead from 69 to 72, and he's looking to retake the lead now. First shot up, he got it. 73-72 thanks to Sean Padula. He is 9 of 10 from the line. That's what you call a clutch gene right there for Padula. Looking to go 10 for 11. He puts up the second shot, and no good. Rattles around the iron and falls into the hands of Talon Cooper. So the Hokies only lead by 1, 73-72. Talon Cooper guarded by Padula. Chest pass left side right. Right at the left wing. Has to pick it up and give it back to Mack. Mack to the right to Paris. Davis, pardon me. Bounce pass to Mack. Looks to go find the inside interior. Ball ends up in the hands of Davis. Down low to Cooper. Kick out three-pointer by Miles Stute. Are you kidding me? Count it. Miles Stute responds with a three-pointer, and the Gamecocks have the lead once again. 75-73. Padula floater from the nail. No good. Petit fights for the rebound, and it ends up in the hands of Jacoby Wright, who settles the ball and just now crosses the timeline. My goodness, what a play there by Melagio Petit to look at to keep it within 1. Right now, directing traffic for these Gamecocks. Agent Zero, Hunter Couture on him. Slashes the lane inside, right block. Floater, no good, but he does draw the foul. Hunter Couture called for the offensive foul, and that's his 3rd on the night with 1:45 remaining. As Lynn Kidd sits down in front of the scores table, I'd have to imagine he's coming in from Melagio Petit. But Jacoby Wright goes to the line for the 2nd time tonight. He's 1 for 1. And he's shooting 2. First shot on the way. You bet. 76-73. Jacoby Wright makes it.
This is vital right here for South Carolina. Make it a 2-possession game.
Lynn Kidd checks in from Melagio Petit. As Valentine, the head referee for tonight, hands the ball off to Wright. Second shot up on the way. And he sinks it. Jacoby Wright 3 for 3 from the charity stripe tonight, and that's enough to put the Gamecocks up by 2 possessions, 77-73. Makai Long straightaway, chest pass Tyler Nickel right wing, back to Kidd at the top, gives it to Hunter Couture, looks to separate himself. Makai Long chest pass left, lolly pass to Lynn Kidd, mid post right hand floater. You bet. Lynn Kidd with a nice finish, and the timeout is called by Mike Young, and he wants to discuss with his team what exactly he wants to do of them. With 1:28 remaining here. It's coming down to the wire, Kyle. You cannot be disappointed if you wanted to come into this game and expect some action here tonight.
Yeah, don't blink. 2 teams with a lot on the line, right? Like we said at the top of the broadcast, 2 teams that are rebranding their offense after struggles from last year at the bottom of their respective Power 5 conferences. And I think you're seeing tonight that the same main characters from last year are going to be contributors to this roster this year. It's about whether or not that supporting cast is going to be the difference. There's a whole lot of supporting characters on both sides. You have 4 transfers for Virginia Tech and 4 transfers for South Carolina that are added to this roster this year, not to mention some from last year that are starting to shine as well.
The supporting cast is only as good as the actor in the lead role, and both are up for Actor of the Year nominations, as Sean Padula has 26 points, Miles Stute 21. Padula so far, though, clutch from the line. He's 9 for 11, while Stute's points have come from distance. 5 for 6 from long range. 1:28 seconds remaining here. Virginia Tech finds themselves down by 2, 77-75. Kyle, what do you expect of the Hokies defensively here in these waning minutes?
I think they're going to start to play more of a three-quarters court or half-court defense instead of meeting them at around the end of the perimeter.
Talon Cooper brings the rock up the court and crosses the timeline with a minute 20 to play. Who else but Sean Padula? Tab to defend Cooper. Left side, right. Couture pressing now. Back to Cooper. Chest pass. They whip it over to Davis in the corner. Davis up top to right. Cooper now with it. 10 seconds to shoot. Jacoby Wright taking his time here. Elijah Petit coming all the way out. Long three-pointer from BJ Mack. Too much power off the back iron. Sean Padula climbs the ladder for the rebound. Under a minute now to play. All fans starting to get up and stretch their legs on their feet. Virginia Tech down by 2. Sean Padula looking to orchestrate some offense here. Kicks it over to Petit. In the middle lane, we are tied at 77. Elijah Petit, his 9th point of the night. And Wright's going to cross the timeline. Lamont Paris is going to tee up his hands for a timeout. Oh my goodness, the heart's racing here, and how can it not for a fan of either team here? 15 of 22 on the floor, Virginia Tech is 15 of 28, South Carolina. These two teams have simply swayed back and forth. The pendulum of offense is, as looks like we got some coaches bantering at each other. Looks like both are talking to a few of the referees over the scoring table. What's going on there?
Yeah, well, you saw Mike Young right in the face of Tony Green as soon as the timeout was called with his hands up in the air as if gesturing, hey, I think there was some contact there on that shot from Elijah Petit, which I don't know about you, but with the way that they've been kind of trigger happy, the Zebras have with their whistles tonight, I thought maybe Elijah Petit might be at the line right now for a chance to take a really, really late lead in this ball game. Instead, of course, it's a clean play. And, you know, it looked like a basketball play, right? But I think Mike Young was calling for a foul, and I think the Gamecocks were just saying, I disagree.
A meeting of the minds now for the referees about it. I don't think there's anything they can really do at this point except discuss to make sure that won't happen again. But assistant coaches on either side of the ball fired up at each other as it's been feisty so far tonight. Virginia Tech has clawed and kept up with the fight that South Carolina has been able to output offensively now. Miles Stute still leads Gamecock scores with 21 points. Sean Padula with 26. And you got to look at the free throw line for where a majority of Virginia Tech's points have come in this second half. They're 11 of 14. Sean Padula, he's 9 of 11 so far tonight as well. South Carolina still leading Virginia Tech in the rebounding category, 30-22. And that's something that Mike Young and company certainly expect more from the big men. Elijah Petit and Lynn Kidd down low for the Hokies. Kyle with 38 and 9/10 of seconds on the board here. What do you expect on this offensive possession for South Carolina?
Well, I think, first of all, South Carolina is going to settle into a rhythm. They're going to try and get it off to either Miles Stute or Jacoby Wright at the top of the key and soak up all 25 of the shot clock.
Talon Cooper inbounds right in front of Lamont Paris to Stute, who gives it right back to Cooper. 35 seconds now. Sean Padula playing 6 feet back on defensive mode. Right to the right of Cooper. Instead, he sends it left to beat the big man, BJ Mack. Mid-post, working his way to back down against Elijah Petit. 9 seconds, spins onto the interior, gets underneath, and puts it in! BJ Mack has been so clutch within the paint. 17 seconds, 79-77, South Carolina. Sean Padula, right wing. And we're going to get a timeout on the court. And that's going to come from Mike Young. 15 seconds remaining. South Carolina leads 79-77. This Hall of Fame series has certainly been an exciting one here. The adrenaline is pumping inside of the Spectrum Center from Charlotte, North Carolina. Don't go anywhere. It's coming down to the wire between the Hokies and the Gamecocks right here on 3304 Sports. Cool. Now, 15 seconds on the clock. The Gamecocks lead 79-77, and Virginia Tech has possession with the shot clock turned off here in the Spectrum Center as the Gamecocks look to defeat the Hokies in the Hall of Fame Series Invitational here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Nels Williams, Kyle Marshak joined alongside me in what has been an eventful game between the Hokies and the Gamecocks. But with 15 seconds remaining, you got one possession to either tie or take the lead. What do you think the game plan is here, Kyle?
I think if you're smart, if you're a Hokie fan, you really just want to see him dial up some sort of play to get a wide open man in the paint. Give it to Lynn Kidd. Let him do his thing with 15 seconds. You'd rather go for the tie right now because they're only shooting 32% from three. And Sean Padula's been forcing up some serious three-pointers that I just don't think are the right shot to take at this moment.
Tyler Nickel will be the man with the rock to inbound here. It's Lynn Kidd, Hunter Couture, Sean Padula, and Mekhi Long on the court for the Hokies, who look to either tie or take the lead. Down 77-79. Chest pass, Sean Padula. On the logo now with 10 seconds remaining. Sets up a screen off of Lynn Kidd. Padula steps back, thinks about the three-pointer, picks up his dribble, has to give it up to Couture. Ball's lost in the air. 3 seconds now, still on the ground. What are they going to call here? The whistle is blown with 2 seconds left, and it's a jump ball. The Hokies muffed it, and it's going to be South Carolina possession with 2 seconds remaining. Everything that could have gone wrong did go wrong as Sean Padula hesitated on a three-pointer from the right wing. Could not get it to Hunter Couture. And with 2 seconds left, the Gamecocks are simply looking to put it away as the Hokies are sure to foul here, Kyle.
They've got to be sure to foul, but right now I think they're talking about whether or not Sean Padula called timeout in time. It looked like it should be a jump ball, which would be South Carolina ball. Now Mike Young's going to talk things over, and yeah, it looks like the Gamecocks have possession. I think Sean Padula and Hunter Couture just wasted a game away.
2 seconds on the clock. Virginia Tech down 77-79. Sean Padula has come up so clutch throughout this game, whether that's on the charity stripe or whether that's on the mid-range, in deep, forcing his way on the inside. But when it mattered most, when he needed to tie or take the lead for the Hokies over the Gamecocks, he fumbled the ball in the right wing and could not get it to Hunter Couture, which led to a jump ball here, and the fans cannot believe it on the Hokies' side, while the Gamecock chants rattle down here in Charlotte.
We'll see how quick they can get a foul off, and you got to get it pretty immediate, right? And then just hope for a missed free throw.
If you're the Gamecocks, you certainly want either Wright or Stute to head to the line on your behalf. Wright is 3 for 3 from the free throw line, and Stute is 2 for 2. As it'll be Cooper on the inbound. Virginia Tech's just going to have to swat that forearm as soon as that ball lands, or perhaps intercept and put up a desperation heave. Robbie Barron jumping in front of Telon Cooper. And not exactly sure what's going on here, but I think Lamont Paris called timeout, or rather, did.
Foul charge to Virginia Tech's number 4, that's Mekhi.
Looks like Mekhi Long drew a foul.
Interesting. I think they just decided to go with the off-ball foul so they could just send him to the stripe immediately.
So it looks like it's going to be B.J. Mack to the line for South Carolina.
At the line for
Interesting.
point for the Gamecocks, B.J. Mack.
Mack, a Wofford transfer. Started in 69, played in 85 last year. As the first shot on the way, he misses it. Sean Padula with the rebound. A desperation heave. It's not going to get there. And South Carolina escapes on top of the Virginia Tech Hokies by a final score of 79-77. And a down-to-the-wire thriller here in Charlotte as Virginia Tech comes up short against the Gamecocks.
It was a well-fought game, right? And for the Gamecocks, a roster that's had a lot of turnover in the past couple of seasons and just their sophomore season of a new head coach. For a program that isn't so historically successful, this is massive for them to start a season off 2-0 with a quality win against a Power 5 program to say, hey, we're trying to reinvent the quality of this team. South Carolina earned it tonight.
South Carolina was predicted to end up dead last in the SEC, 14th out of 14th, but they pick up a massive win over Virginia Tech here in Charlotte, North Carolina. The first game earlier today ended within 3 points. It was a down-to-the-wire thriller between Virginia and Florida, 73-70 here in the Hall of Fame Series Invitational. And the second game does just that. Final score from Charlotte, 79 South Carolina, Virginia Tech 77. Certainly a lot is going to be hanging on the heads of the Hokies, especially that last possession for Sean Padula in particular. Padula got the ball from Nickel, hesitated on a right wing three-pointer, and instead of putting up the shot and seeing what would happen, he instead tried to hand it off to Hunter Couture, who could not get a tight enough grip on it, ended up in a jump ball. Mekhi Long ends up with the off-ball foul. A miss by B.J. Mack on the charity stripe, and a desperation heave from Sean Padula would not be enough. And he couldn't write the script any better, Kyle. Saying so long From Charlotte, North Carolina in the Spectrum Center, I'm Nels Williams. Kyle Marshak, as wonderful as always, joined alongside me for this final 20 minutes. Virginia Tech, on both the women's and men's side, ultimately comes up short here in Charlotte. Next game up for South Carolina, they're heading up to VMI just outside of Blacksburg this Monday, November 13th, while Virginia Tech will look to bounce back against Campbell next Wednesday. We'll see you guys in Campbell. I'm Nels Williams, once again saying so long from the Spectrum Center here. And on behalf of 3304 Sports, I hope you enjoyed what was an incredible game. Have a good night, everybody.